And that me can send be na madam for be our NPP communicator was 3 years. As someone me can say Sebe Mahama ede ne 24-hour economy ababe bre NPP for omuni so na Mahama akwa pass comments efa eye wasi for ho NPP for bem me okay asem no de aye propaganda ma eji se NDC for eba be pacho ansana me kan wasre because onim say de make an ye no kware Mahama asem okoka fa wasi ho NPP for communicators kasa omo nkasa chese omo a ende Ghana yenti omo nka kujo opon kroma muni na babonti aba be kasa ende na we kasa no china we kasa ende na fake news ye di nemu ende na rasta ni ne story no ye di nemu say ende Mahama cancer rasta ni ne kra wa bon ende every single day omo make sure say asem no it remains in the news na newspapers take his story no news outlets take his story no more tro and the NPP for no and so much also organize the youth wing of the NPP organize the press conference or more some so akasa wa asem so me say NPP you can say milking a situation. They know how to milk a situation, but don't worry enu hunti eni yenso ye de yenso ye be ya ensem a wo mokin na at the end of the day yenso ye the evidence ba e trese Mahama ensem a wo kan no based on fact. Yengo tie NPP for youth ensem a wo moka afa Mahama was say Ghanaian youth didn't cause your failure as president. NPP to Mahama. I say the youth wing of the governing New Patriotic Party has said the government, the Ghanaian youth did not cause former President John Mahama's failure as president. This comes on the back of the former president challenging the validity of the WASI results, citing instances of malpractices and collusion between students and teachers to cheat. However, the deputy ranking member on the Education Committee in Parliament, Dr. Clement Apak, stated that former President John Mahama's comment on student cheating in the last WASI, it's rightly so. In a brief statement, the Bulsa South lawmaker stated there is evidence to the former president's statement on students cheating during WASI. John Dramani Mahama said it as it is when he said some students were allowed to cheat during the recent WASI examinations. Africa Education was monitoring of WASI examinations over the past few years has revealed that cheating has become more widespread and brazen. In some instances, it is organized, with teachers and supervisors helping students to cheat, Dr. Apak stated. He continued, I shared here, with the permission of Mr. Alovi, a message to him by a teacher on cheating. As indicated in the message, the teacher is an assistant supervisor for examinations in his school, as well as an assistant WAEC examiner. From his message, he regrets not allowing organized teaching in the year's WASI in his school. But in a sharp rebuttal, the NPP deputy youth organizer, Sandra Sakodi Ado, has rebuked the former president, adding that he failed to recognize the accomplishments of the candidates. His recent comments on national affairs have been more insulting to the intelligence of Ghanaians and more specifically the youth of this country like never seen before. He has now made the youth of this country the sad recipients of his constant show of myopic and small-minded tendencies as though they caused his disgraceful failure as president. It is an established fact that Mahama as president failed woefully because he was incompetent, lacked foresight, and believed in the potential our country possesses for growth and development, Madam Sakodi Adu stated. Not to say, NPP for Deputy National Youth Organizer, Oyoba, in some wa betro afa Mahama hono no yebekwa akwa akowidi ba ni na ne say Mahama nsem a wokan no NDC NPB aba befo aso a wono so trese de Mahama eka no eye no kre na wayek examiner bia na oye teacher ono kra confirm say eye no kre na nsen se nyankola no omo wie mu no enya asem ketwa Now, I'll speak on Sir NPP lady, Nensema Walker. Because, you see, it looks like now, what the NPP are doing is they are pitching Mahama against the events the kids. Omoma and Kolano Ehu, and now they are pitching the kids against Mahama. Omo Catherine Kolano and Kolana Tia say Anne, and the Mahama no say more bon no, and the Ebeya Montuntiano, because of say more bon. What you say? That's what they are doing. But you can read the NPP youth wing. Omo letter, Womo de Ababon, just say former President John Dramani Mahama has over time relegated his reputation to the background and thrown his integrity to the docks. His recent comments on national affairs have been more insulting to the intelligence of Ghanaians and more specifically the youth of this country like never seen before. So Tremu say Mahama ne reputation ne there or the year or just say or Mahama ye ne hu fin kra. Mahama ye ne hu fin na just an saying sembia waka no e ya na say wo didi Ghana fo atem. This is NPP new or kase Mahama mum inyama bia wo ye no edidi Ghana ye ko mo didi Ghana fo atem pa the na eche mo NPP for. I see he has now made the youth of this country the sad recipients of his constant show of myopic and small-minded tendencies as though they caused his disgraceful failure as president. It is an established fact that Mahama as president failed woefully because he was incompetent, lacked foresight, and believed in the potential our country possesses for growth and development. It will tell Mahama will failure. Mahama babe than a president no o failure. Amama kai Shatawale ne sa akodie omuni antokwa no. Shatawale sori a wose sa akodie oyohiani sa akodie ni sika sa akodie ni sika sa akodie ni sika. Ehon na sa akodie nya time no bonyum, one of the biggest diss songs ever in the history of this country. In yum the title your advice. Sa akodie bonyum a Shatawale na sa akodie ka se sani anyankopo nhwame ene me sani sa akodie minya sika pa no. Se wo Shatawale o katre nkofo se mini sika na miyohia ni a ende me bomba se nyankopon won fo ohia no enhira me sa akodie asema wo kan no because ono ni state a wo wom no onim se wo sika na so wo si onu di hia e no se eh me hwe me account na me hwe na me wo sika na we na wo frɛ no ohia de a ende me bomba se nyankopon onfa eno mo enye den emma me enti ende that's the same thing. More NPP for more baba be can't trade Ghana for say Mahama no or ye failure. Say it is a fact, known fact, say Mahama no na buying a failure. Say ye compare Mahama the 4 years, nemo mu 8 years. Any new Mahama ye. Not say nanka Mahama, your ye no enu mum ne friend failure there. And the bomb pattern and go say nanka debia no magana yen failure. Said the building of hospitals ni nyama Mahama sisi ya na NPP for move friend failure there. Na kanyankopon de bia no magana yenye failure in terms of NPP for what they are calling failure no. Mo nanka mo de me say nanka NPP for enye eniwu ene takashi ni nuoden ene some events in Ghana nkrofo na empe no kware kan nanka mo nya nkrofo ewo kwan kra se mo kasampotia Mahama mo mutie wu na so mo ano ti wi mo abon mo nim hu na so mo ano enda de bia mo sori amo na mo aben na so mo abon si obi a wo wiase mu mo abon rough mo na so mo ano nda it's a known fact that Mahama is a failure. You call what Mahama did a failure, then you people your own there because you are comparing you to Mahama and you are saying Mahama is a failure. And the moment they are Kan. Metwaso. I say in his recent visit to Asafo in the Agona East constituency of the Central Region, he openly rubbished the success of senior high school students who have passed the Awasi with excellence. He, John Dramani Mahama, argued that the students did not merit the successes chalked in the Awasi and that their intelligence was not as the exams results portrayed. Such comments can only come from a person who does not believe in nurturing the future of our nation. A former president and statesman, for that matter, should not be demeaning in his utterances as John Mahama has recently been. It will be recalled that this same John Mahama in 2014 urged the media to make noise on the success of senior high school students who sat for the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination. He claimed at the time that the results reflected the level of intelligence of the students, and that was a result of the effective educational structures laid by his government. Fast forward to 2023, this same John Mahama is strongly against the media making noise about the success of students who sat for the WASSCE. There is no doubt that Mr. Mahama has no plans for the future of this country. Also, concerning his claim that in most schools across Ghana, teachers connived with a student to cheat in the WASSCE, I dare the former president to mention only one school where such an unfortunate event happened. He who alleges must prove beyond street talk that what he alleges is nothing but the truth. Into waka say or there Mahama say almost school baku din aside the NC, and you see Mahama doesn't even there's no need for Mahama to come and mention name of a school, because we have a report from the African Edu Watch. We have their report. Our more confirm say indeed this is what happened. Or say a former president like he is must not make such unfounded comments that insult the intelligence of Ghanaian students, the hard work of teachers, integrity of the West African Examination Council, which is in charge of the exam, the free SHS policy implemented by the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government, and the goodwill of the Ghanaian youth. Also, John Mahama's shoddy attempt to rile up Ghanaians against the free SHS policy and his desperation to be president again should not be grounds to discredit our entire school system to the outside world, reducing our certificates to nothing before our peers elsewhere. In other countries, Ghanaian students and youth in general have always been intelligent and shall continue to be so. The youth of Ghana remains the future of this nation. To insult our intelligence and that of the intelligence of our senior high school students is a fight against the future of this nation and shall therefore not be tolerated. The youth of this country know how much John Mahama hates the idea of the free SHS policy, and by extension anything good that comes out of it. Nonetheless, we shall not sit aloof to allow his hatred for the free SHS policy to cause him to insult the intelligence of students of this policy, as much as teachers teaching these students to become future leaders. Also, John Mahama must be reminded that he has up until now not been able to give Ghanaians a single policy initiative he intends to execute to support the youth of this country. Mahama for policy beyond by or the Ghana youth no 24-hour economy any policy and then Ghana. NPP for you see one thing about NPP for sometimes not a mystery, because sometimes accept to me you hear nothing a mystery. One thing about NPP for sometimes a mystery, and they say omu to me omu ni kan sembi omu to me kataka to ni kan sembi papa. I say Mahama only policy bia up to now on to me for policy bia on to me can policy bia ebe bua Ghana for 24-hour economy now more kuntia 24-hour economy na civil society ne nkrofo ka say ya de pebe bua Ghana no eno de enye policy 24-hour economy na more pesa moje bo mo boso no enye policy. And now petrol letter ka say Mahama up to now on fa policy bia mbae ebe bua na won ka policy bia oba obe ya ebe bua Ghana mbebu no. Hey, also there, mo ha mo ni kan sem bi o. I say e ya la me ntiase. O just say, o ntiase o, MB before. O be high dey. I say ade no wo ho pa we hu say ade we wo ho. Na so akata ne ni na mi hu ye. Just say, oju wa ntiase. I say John Mahama must be reminded that he has up till now not been able to give Ghanaians a single policy initiative he intends to execute to support the youth of this country. Also, for education and the free SHS in particular, we know without any iota of doubt how he intends to cancel the free SHS policy without thinking twice about it. Therefore, it is very important to inform him that well-meaning Ghanaians won't give him such a mandate to do so, especially when we know that he has no vision for this country. However, this might be, I particularly urge Mr. John Mahama to credit the Ghanaian youth with some considerable amount of intelligence when given a platform to speak. He is at least a former president and a considered statesman and must live with respect to his office. In 2024, John Mahama must be a changed man, devoid of antics, in an attempt to trick Ghanaians into believing he has anything new to offer the country. Sandra Sakode Ado, Deputy National Youth Organizer, NPP. James Nimfunini, Nenimni, Onona Wokasa. Why are there, Sandra? Why are there? Opati, Akasama Opati. Asemwa me pesa me kadre Sandra ne se me a make say me toma MPP. Me toma MPP. Na masesa madwen me se me toma MPP me toma Mahama. Wa ba betro letter makenkan eye wa bo Mahama echi. Nini nechi na eye o se mekenkan letter ni wi a na ka ebia madwen be sesa na matoma MPP. O ye den me toma Mahama. Nti at least se Ghana for na ye o madwen so o de o letter no kan o so madwen kan at least me toma mo no we lusu me vote. As if we montre comment box ni mo me da se